one. Welcome.
So annoying.
Shut up.
Welcome back to episode 40.
Oh my god, 40.
I ended up wearing the same clothes as that it was in the last episode, so we thought it'd be kind of cool. Just kidding. It's back to back.
Back to back.
But anyway, we have a really fun, funny, controversial, fun and funny for us, controversial for others maybe, episode.
But Natasha has to get her energy up.
My energy is so high. Yeah, I went for a pee break and I already thought of my introduction to the episode.
So low on energy. She ate so much food. We had prawns too and appam, and it was actually yummy. And now she's like feeling the sleeps.
I need coffee.
She needs coffee. And we only woke up at 12 today, guys, which was amazing.
For me.
For her.
I've been having a really hard time sleeping. And just been waking up in the middle of the night, which is so rare for me.
Did you wake up in the middle of the night yesterday?
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
But I have been for the last week, so I'm really zonked still, and it's hard to function. Anyway, so I think 2 weeks ago we had the displeasure of being invited to
Displeasure is controversial.
Stop it. I just said, it's going to be a controversial episode for the people listening. For me, it's not. And I say displeasure, but to each their own and whatever. But just a little backstory for why I feel this way is because I was never one to really care about content creators and influencers till I actually met Archit, and maybe they weren't even so big
until I slid
4 years
into
ago.
Archit's DMs.
Firstly, that was 5 years ago and I didn't give a fuck. But 4 years ago when we matched on Hinge, sure. Baby, can you let me go? So yeah, my opinion on influencers, we don't call it that, again, something that Archit kind of taught me is not really influencer but content creator. But my opinion on
others should call you influencers. You shouldn't be calling yourself.
It's fine. So I can say
it's God saying I'm God.
So I can say it about others, right?
Yes.
So I did not really give a shit about influencers, and my understanding of what is good content comes from what Archit has told me in terms of why he creates content and what the purpose behind it is.
And because you're a producer and you actually
No. That's completely different. I'm talking about story, right?
Okay.
You have to have a story for what you do, and Archit believes that his content should teach somebody something or make them want to do something. Right? So,
agency.
Ish. So where even peak COVID, when doing all this. Sorry, my phone is ringing. Peak COVID, when we were when making all these viral reels was huge. We did a few, but not a lot, and we did not jump onto every bandwagon of let's dance in this reel and let's whatever.
I don't think we still danced.
And we're not gonna do it.
We're really bad.
It's so bad. But yeah, so even now, if I do consume content created by people, there is a purpose behind their content. Even if you're just teaching me how to look good or how to dress well, but at least you're teaching me that, as opposed to people who just it's getting there, the controversy is kicking in. People who just post pictures of themselves looking pretty, whatever, great. Even my Instagram is that, but I do not call myself an influencer, and I'm not trying to do that with my Instagram, right?
Yeah.
There is a cohort of creators who went from the typical Instagram feed and the original thought of Instagram of sharing memories and photos to making that their whole brand. And those are the kind of people we interacted with 2 weeks ago. So that was my little introduction to what it was. Archit's gonna talk nicely and less controversially about it, and then I'll come back with my bitchiness.
Sure. So we were invited to an all-inclusive one-night stay.
Sorry.
That itself is an oxymoron.
Sorry. I laughed because I saw your expression when you said one night and your nostrils flared because you were so disappointed. Sorry.
Yeah, so an all-inclusive one-night stay.
Okay, Alia Bhatt.
At Western Sona, and that was in Sona Road. Actually, not even Sona Road, it was on Sona Village.
Sona Village.
And beautiful property, really great people. Loved the organizers because they truly believe that we build relevant content. We've actually done a lot of work with them in the past. And they were launching a new restaurant, so they invited us, and we went because we were like, hey, like we need a staycation, we need some time to ourselves, and we never get that. And like it was so stressful to actually be there because it was a Sunday, because fucking India Pakistan was having a match on Saturday, and then we had to go.
I asked the organizers why it was Sunday night and not Saturday night, because the normal thing to do would be Saturday night. And then she turns around and she's like, oh, a lot of the influencers wanted to watch the India-Pakistan match, and so we changed the date. The India-Pakistan match got cancelled. It rained and it got cancelled that
Saturday. Wasn't the same.
Yeah, it was.
No.
It was.
That was last week.
Even before that, there was some other match.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Maybe it didn't rain, it just got cancelled. Something happened. And my argument, and I obviously didn't say anything to her, but I was gonna be like, but Sunday's the fucking race.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Sunday was F1. Like we were like, oh my god. But like we really took it as, okay, we'll delay the F1 race because we can just watch it later and just have a really chill night with each other, and we'll do the small things that we have to do, like be somewhere, take pictures and all of that, and fuck off. And
which is precisely what we did.
Yeah, we precisely did that. But that being said, we still had to interact and be with these people. But now the thing is that we weren't told who was gonna come, so we originally just thought it'd be food influencers and that's it. But it was literally every person on your feed that takes pictures in the deepest, reddest dress in the world with all the slits in the world, and then just takes it somewhere and then poses 5 times and then talks about it for 4 weeks, as if they're still living there. It was all of them. It was all of them. It was literally just 30-year-olds dressing up.
Or older.
But minimum, we were probably the youngest people there.
No, I don't think so.
100%.
No, I don't think so.
Yes.
No.
And these are it was just, it was great.
We were so out of place.
Yeah, we were so out of place.
The biggest shock was, yes, that we went there and we didn't see anybody we recognized, and we were like, what the fuck? Where are the food content creators?
We know some of them.
Those are the ones we know, right?
And meeting those people is great
it's
because
nice.
You can actually talk about content, and those people understand your pathos and where you're coming from, and it's like you're going to you were invited for a teacher conference, but instead everyone who's part of that conference are going to a beauty pageant. So all of a sudden it's just wait, I thought I was going for a conference, but I'm actually at a beauty pageant, because then they did all these things when we entered, then we actually came on time, and they weren't ready.
We reached so early. They called us at 12.
11. They said 11:30 you check in, and then it was an early check-in so that you could then do brunch at 2.
Yeah, I was under the impression that it was a 12 o'clock check-in.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was cool, because it's mostly 2 or 3 p.m.
Yeah.
And we got there at 12:10, I think, and we went and sat in the reception, nobody was there. And then I was messaging the organizer who had invited us, and she's like, I'll arrange a room for you. And what we found out was that they'd asked people to come straight for brunch, as opposed to going in, getting into their rooms, and we were the only ones with the room to go. And I was like, yes.
Yeah. But the room, everything that the Western
it was amazing
had provided us was great.
What a room.
What a beautiful room. We would love to go there again. We will definitely go there
in
again.
the winter. Do not go in the summer.
Even the summer is not bad.
It's
whatever.
So hot.
But that was all great. And then we entered this lunch, their main restaurant, and we were so out of it. We were wearing our nicest clothes, which is not the best for beauty bloggers.
Sure, yes, but I also was not expecting a very dressed up scene.
Yeah.
Right?
But I really wasn't. I just thought it'd be
I wasn't wearing my nicest clothes.
Yeah.
So there's some cheap ass.
No, I was
skirt.
I was wearing not the nicest clothes, but I was just wearing things that I wouldn't wear every day. That's the thing with and if you watch the last episodes on our fashion, one thing that we've talked about is that we're really functional with our clothes, which means that we live and breathe in these clothes. Like,
Yeah.
if we have to go out and meet a friend, we're wearing very
The same
similar
thing.
clothes. Then when we go to work, or if we're like not sitting at home, but like if it's just like, oh, shoot is happening, we're going out, and we are like one more activity. We're kind of wearing the same things unless there's a dress code provided to us.
The only time I feel like I actively go like change from my regular wear to anything slightly fancier is if it's like a family scene.
Yeah.
And my mother is like, you are not wearing this dress and coming.
My family scene also, it doesn't matter to me
For
as
me,
much.
yeah,
But
like,
yeah, if it's a birthday, if it's a special event,
Yeah.
if we're going out with family, if we're doing a really like
if we're doing a date night, then maybe
yeah,
yes,
like
we
a proper one. Like
Yeah.
if it's like, so we're children in some ways, so like we do like monthly date nights, like our anniversary, we try and make it special.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that it's like every time we're going out and spending a lot of money. It could just be like we're sitting at home and watching Splitsvilla, and we've done that as well. But we do try and do something. Like we try to be together.
Yeah.
Some of those date nights are bigger for us, so we do dress up and things like that.
Yeah.
But like for the most part, we're like, and that's actually
Super casual.
amazing that we both have like synced up to this like situation. Which also is the reason why like Nicobar clothes like wear off for me so quickly. Anyway, watch the other episode. You'll get a better idea. Now, this one, so we were there and they were like, oh, like we came from a different entrance. Basically because we had already
checked
gotten a
in.
room.
Yeah.
We came from the back entrance, which is all the people who actually lived there would come from, and everyone else was coming from the other side. And the other side, they had 4 cameras, a gimbal, a videographer. They were putting malas on people, like not malas, but like whatever, like
Yeah,
flower.
they put like a fulon ki mala for the girls, and for the boys they gave them this little
Brooch.
like brooch
Yeah.
that they'd made
Out of bougainvillea.
out of bougainvillea and like a leaf.
Leaf, yeah. And they were doing all of that, and we
Archit was not wearing a shirt with pockets as right now.
Yeah.
There was no like pocket on the boob.
yeah.
And so it wasn't like sticking
So
on.
no, we entered, and then they were like, "Oh, you came from this side." I was like, "Yeah." Like we were so out of it, also. Like we were just like,
It was so hot.
yeah. And
We'd walked in my 4-inch heels.
oh yeah, and Natasha, oh my god, she decided she's gonna wear her heels. That day, and it was these 4-inch heels that we bought from H&M in Bangalore, and then
They're wedges.
They're wedges, yeah, and she wore them, but that's the only shoe she brought for this trip. So anytime she had to go somewhere, she was 4 inches taller, and I haven't seen this woman higher than what she is ever.
1 inch.
1 inch doesn't count. So 4 inch. For me, it was just like it was.
I loved it. I felt like I was towering.
It was like
over
looking
it.
at Natasha on stilts, and Natasha was like very confident, like, I love this. I am walking so confidently, and I'm like, gir jayegi. Like I was just always
It didn't
like,
fall.
I was like looking for sharp objects and keeping her aside from them. Like, फिर से सर में चोट लग गई तो क्या? थू.
Guys, just 1 second. we're gonna pause really quickly. Archit, so when I got hurt on my forehead,
Okay.
when I got hurt on my forehead, this boy, the morning before, he was like, Natasha, you've been working out now for a couple of months. You should do some box jumps.
My God, we're talking about this.
We
so
are
much.
always gonna fucking talk about it. My children are gonna hear about it the second they're born. Your father cannot be trusted. So he's like, oh, you should do box jump. You should. And I was like, no. Actually, I'm really scared. I'm gonna fall. I'm gonna get hurt. Cut to today or like the last couple of weeks, and this guy does not stop talking about the fact that like the wedding is approaching and I'm gonna get hurt again, and I'm like, Archit, you're gonna jinx it, stop it. And he does not stop, and that day I actually had to have a fight with him.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm so stressed.
Yeah.
And now
And
I
every
can
time
do
every time I say it, I do tu, which is why like right now the moment I said it, I went tu because I
He's
realized.
gonna get a whack.
But
from
like
me.
it's just genuine concern for her. Like
I'm genuinely jinxed in life.
I understand the jinx logic, but my logic is that like let me try and prevent it again. Because apparently I failed last time. So that's the idea.
I'm gonna walk with like a bouncy house bodysuit.
There are things where like old people can get this like belt where it will sense if you're falling, and if you're falling it'll make your whole
It
body
inflates.
envelop into like an airbag.
Yeah.
Natasha needs that ASAP. Like guys, creators, founders, IITians who are developing this technology. You have guinea pig here to take care of. And she's going to be the best specimen you have. She bruises like a peach. Like, peaches bruise less than her. Test on her. You have a great product. So we went there and we came from the wrong side. So then we went all the way to the other side.
Because they asked us to, we did not want to.
Yeah, they went to the other side, and then of course they were struggling to put this fucking bougainvillea properly, and it kept on drooping, and it created a fucking hole in my shirt. I took it off the moment I could, but then they made us do pictures, and like, guys, again, Natasha, beautiful, photogenic, lovely, look at her face, yum.
Yum.
But me, I can't do pictures well. My eyes don't open. My eyes anyway don't open, and it's just a problem. And they learned their lesson, because if you go on their feed, you don't see us in any of the pictures.
They finally put one out.
Yeah, but like
I did not reshare it. I did not think it was a good picture.
But like they realized that we called the wrong people.
Also, so they took some pictures of just the two of us. And then the organizers wanted to get into the picture, and like, Archit is 6'1". I at the time was like 5'10", easy, if not more. I think I don't think they're 4-inch heels. I think they're 3-inch heels. I was like 5'10", and then there were these like short girls in the photo. It was so funny. Ooh, pause.
Kya hua? Bye.
We're back. They were...
No, just take that.
So first they...
Go to 5'10" and then come from there.
Okay, so I was like 5'10", I think. They were like 3-inch heels, not 4-inch heels. I was 5'10", I was 6'1". I feel like I'm already towering over him, even though I wasn't, but it was so out of place, out of like body as an experience. And then these three short gals wanted to get into the picture with us. And I could like, from the corner of my eye, I could like sense downward how short she was. So I kept moving closer to Archit on my left, so that like it doesn't feel so like, I didn't want to tower over her. And then they took pictures of us, and then Archit's like, why were you falling on me?
Yeah, she was like, it was like, there was a tilt. I could feel it because she was holding my hand and she was like tilting inwards towards me. It was
so funny though.
It felt like a building was collapsing. That's what it felt like.
I feel like I was extremely dehydrated that time.
But yeah, and like no one has taught me how to take pictures. So like, I'm standing there. No, I don't stand like this. I stand like this, like with my hands on my crotch, and I'm just like, I don't know why I do that, and I know it's really awkward, and like my pictures don't turn out well. Like, guys, either help me learn how to take pictures of myself or don't take pictures with me. Like, I'll make something.
Good logic.
Like,
I'll teach you before the wedding.
I don't care about myself.
I'll teach you before the wedding.
So that was the first part of it. Then
but also just, again, really quickly, it was really sweetly organized. It was just like uncomfortable for us because this is not something that we used to doing.
It's definitely like we were out of place. It wasn't that everyone else was. I think everyone else really enjoyed it.
For everyone else, it was completely normal to be like paraded with photographers and videographers, and like they're posing, they're giving fucking my side is the best side on the left. Like, I don't fucking have a side, man. Like, I don't fucking know. I just stand straight and I smile. And but these women and men knew exactly what they wanted to do.
And they were doing such cool things, like
wild.
They were holding glasses in the right way and all of that. And we just found like one corner and next to very nice natural light, and we sat there and then we just
we sat at a 4-seater table across from each other, away from the window, and then we actually repositioned ourselves closer to the window because the photos were better. But that's our space, right? These other people were just like taking pictures of themselves holding drinks or eating a cracker, and that was it. That was their content.
I mean, for the most part that we were eating food, like when we taken our pictures and we were eating food, there were two girls outside our window because it was like sun pane, so like they couldn't see inside as well.
They could.
Not as well as we could the other way. And they were just making reels. Like, one girl was just holding a cigarette and holding the phone and just taking reels
I don't
of the
think
other
she made a
friend.
reel because of
They were
course.
dancing, babe. What else do you think they were doing?
They took a lot of photos. They both shared the same photos on this.
Oh, you saw them already?
Of course.
Oh, okay, great. So I don't care for that.
I mean, I
but,
saw Western stories posted.
So they were doing all of that, and the men with the shirt, the fashion is not one button off, it's two buttons off and like completely shaved chest. Didn't know that was like a thing that people did outside of like
Bollywood.
Jawan Shah Rukh Khan. I mean, he did that. The whole movie is just his pecs coming out of his shirt.
No one's complaining.
Yeah, sure. So that, and then all of these people were like, you know, Netflix reality show stars or like the MTV Splitsvilla bottom categories and all of that. Like, you know, there was that one guy who...
Only the one guy.
His friends were all in that
I've never seen them
stream of shows and things like that.
There were...
And they'd all collected themselves, made themselves into this one long table, and they were just all sitting and eating.
There were literally two people I recognized at that place. One was the guy with the white hair.
Yeah.
Who apparently is married to the lady.
I told you.
The old lady. I didn't even know.
Yeah.
And one was the...
older lady.
Burmani.
Yeah. And I knew one person who was like a watch editor or something. Who gave us no So that was that. The other thing is that these people are the kinds who are super competitive, which means that like they look at you, they know who you are, but they will not acknowledge your existence.
That's what I was... Oh no, not even that. I was telling Archit, because what do we do other than people watch, right? So I was telling him that like they all know each other, but secretly they all hate each other because they're all competitors in the same like space of content. And then they're so fake with each other and the kind of conversations that they were having. And I was like, this is the worst thing that's ever happened to me.
Yeah.
It wasn't even fun to watch, right? Like they were just being irritating. My best part and my favorite part of that brunch though was this gal. There was like a buffet and stuff. And then this girl's like looking at the food and then she's like, bro, they have nalli gosh. In our opinion, Archit will be his own judge. In my opinion, the food was whatever. Thoughts?
Yeah.
Only for the first time ever, actually, the grills section was good because generally it never is.
So
and everything else was so average.
I think because of COVID, what has happened with most of these restaurants that have most of the hotel restaurants that are like buffet style, that tend to serve the entire like set of meals for the hotel, they've kind of turned a lot more Indian than continental, and the reason for that is that international guests weren't coming. And now slowly they're changing back to it, but the international guests are still not as popular, which means the Indian food is a lot more popular. Overall Indian purchase power has gone up, so a lot of people from different, a lot of like diversity of the kinds of people that want to stay at hotels have increased, but their food preferences haven't. So you get a lot of like regional food, and we like regional food, but we rarely eat regional food outside. Like we like to have continental. It's lighter. It's easier to eat. It's a lot more fun, exotic as well, and like so. It was great to see like lobster and like lamb chops and things like that, but like. That would have been good anywhere had it been served. Like it was agnostic of the space. So like we really liked those parts of it. We loved the salads and the cheeses and all of that, which had also vanished for the longest time, and now they're coming back again. But yeah, like the specialties, the desserts, they were okay. They were great, but they were okay. Like, some like hits and misses. Not really what you would go there for.
Yeah. And that's something that really bothers me. But anyway, let's go back to the weekend.
Yeah.
So then this brunch happened and we went back to our room and we just chilled. And the race was supposed to happen. And it's like, let's not watch it right now. We'll watch it after the dinner. And I was like, no, fuck it, let's just watch it right now. And we were like, and I was saying that we'll go late for the dinner because anyway, we had our fun in the day and we did not want to spend extra time there or anything. So we watched the race. There was like a delay, like red flag, I think there was. And then anyway, we finished the race and went. And we show up and like...
Nothing has started. There's
a 3 or 4 piece band. They're making noise, basically. They were good, but they were so loud.
Yeah.
I wanted to kill somebody. And then they were like, oh, we are serving special Turkish food. There was this one like poor Turkish man, not poor like poor, but like bichara man, chef, who was like making food. I've spent now collectively 25 days in Turkey. Nowhere did I see that food, so I don't even know. And do not say shawarma with fucking mayo in it.
Yeah. Like,
right?
Yeah, and then sumac. Everything just had sumac.
And everything just had sumac. So whatever. This shit was happening, and then inside the food, like inside in the same restaurant, this was outdoors, and then inside the food was the same. From the morning.
Yeah.
Except for like the nalli gosht had gone away.
No, it was like the same gravy, different protein.
Yeah.
Same dal, but different
same food.
Look and feel of it.
Same food.
Salads were exactly the same, dessert was exactly the same.
Yeah.
And like you've got a food
like,
content creator to come and talk about your food. Give me diversity, you know, like all you've done actually is created a space for photographers to take pictures of people in their dresses and that's it. So I mean,
and you're not promoting a restaurant, right? Like the reason they hosted this event was to promote a restaurant, which was this like red brick room.
You got most of it right. You just forgot the thing that encloses.
I got 66.66%, right?
Yeah.
So they were promoting the restaurant. They were not actually promoting the property. That was just like saath mein, right? Technically, they called only one food content creator. And then it was just whatever. And I'll write at the end of this episode, I will explain why we were invited to this event.
But, you know it?
Yeah.
Oh.
I figured why it happened the way it happened. But so outside, back to the event, outside there's like a bar, and then there's some like other drink situation, and then like all these people, and their clothes. Their clothes. They were either in like sequins or glitter or both.
Yeah.
Right? All of them.
Yeah.
And it was so hot. It was so hot. I was like, this is not comfortable because like it's thick shit and like and I don't know why this fucking thing exists as a design, but like the one shoulder and then one off. And I'm saying this and I just bought a fucking swimsuit, which is that design, and I was being an idiot and I hate it, but whatever. But like...
Oh, you tried it?
I fucking hated it.
You didn't show it to me.
Whatever. You're wearing sequins. Not sequins. You're wearing sequins. Your bare arm is constantly like rubbing against that sequin. It's fucking cutting the living shit out of you. How is that comfortable? But everybody was in that.
Pain is beauty.
And then they were like, oh, it was so frustrating. And then Archit and I tried to figure out for the longest time whether one girl's outfit was a dress or a skirt and a top.
Yeah.
We still didn't figure it out.
Yeah.
But as you can tell, both of us are just assholes of the highest order.
Yeah. We didn't talk to us.
I'm sure people were also looking at us and being like, what the fuck, why have these guys come dressed like this? Because this is so underwhelming. But
also, they probably would have thought that like we were guests.
It's possible.
And we were just sitting there.
It's possible.
Yeah.
I don't even care. But yeah, to each their own. But while I say that, I also feel like everybody has the right to pass judgment. So it's all right. You can pass judgment on me, and I will do the same for you because that's musty for me.
Yeah. So it was a very fascinating event.
Talk about the fire show.
It was very overwhelming to me. Then they had after the event had launched technically and like they had opened up the restaurant or whatever, they had a little bit of like they had a couple of shows. They had this like Russian lady doing fire breathing and like the fire baton thing, and then before that the bartender was doing some fun shit with his like fire tools, and then he broke a bottle and hurt himself. Apologies to the fire tender.
Okay.
Hope you're okay. But yeah, really, really strange. Just
very strange.
I mean, I guess I just haven't been to enough events. I also don't have the desire to go to every event that is available to me. Primarily because like we have very like crunched time. And we have to do a lot of things in that crunched time. The second is that, honestly, we don't get paid for events.
Yeah.
Which means, yeah, sure, we get perks, but like I highly believe creators need to be paid for the work that they do, because at the end of the day, you're trying to get like imagine getting a billboard and telling the billboard company आपको मैं एक रात बिता दूंगा, आप ये billboard पे हमारा मतलब वो ad लगा दो free में. Like regardless of the perks that you add to any like collaboration, it should be accepted. We should only be accepting them with payment. Now that's not how the industry works, and we can't change that. So we try and mold our ways of choosing things based on do we get as much out of it as much as they are getting out of us. And if it makes sense to us, then we go ahead. And like this was just one of those times where we're like, hey, like it's going to be hard to come from Sona and go all the way to Delhi because it's almost 100 kilometers to do that, and you will have to go in the middle of traffic, but on a Monday. But does it allow for you to have a good time with your spouse? Yes. So it was one of those things that we had to like play with, and
we very rarely do events for free anyway. But we do like restaurants and stuff like that once in a while, and like a lot of times it's
because like we're excited about
it's space. Just like us being like cool, like let's go out for a meal together. Like that's really
and like the restaurant that we choose is actually a restaurant that we're interested in. It's rarely like we must because of relationship or something, because again very vapid as an industry, very transactional, and it becomes like when they want something it becomes very like sweet and courteous, but when we want something that reciprocation doesn't happen, so then we don't care for it as much, and it's a dog eat dog world, and that's what we're trying to do. Trying to be one dog. Anything
so
else?
Now having said that, we have a very good relationship with Western for like a couple of years now, at least like 2-3 years, and we tend to go almost always when they call us, just because like we like the people who we speak to and everything, and like that also changes a lot of it. And actually not so much Western, but the agency that manages Western is what we have a good relationship with. I think that the reason we were invited for this event and not all other creators is because the last time we went for this like Western restaurant thing, it went really badly.
Oh yeah.
Because all the people who were there, I mean not all, but a lot of the people who were there were food content creators, and they really, really were nasty about how the food was, and we weren't. And that's shocking because we just spoke for 33 minutes about how terrible an experience we had. But like, one, in reality, the food was not bad. Two, you do not need to be so like negative towards something, because at the end of the day, it's somebody else's effort, and like you have to appreciate that, which is why also we're appreciating the fact that Western did this and we went to their property and everything. But like, yeah, it's just about being nice, and I feel like the PR agency must have realized that like we're just a nicer set of people as opposed to a bunch of the other creators who were there that night. And that's probably why they called us and not other food creators.
Yeah, and I mean at the end of it as well, like you can, if you go for an event and someone's feeding you something, and they ask for opinions, you can give your opinions, no doubt, you should. That's part of like why you're invited. But you have to also assume that not every opinion that you give, one, is valid, and two, will be incorporated in the next journey of this meal. So telling someone that, hey, I have, like, we went for like a Thai restaurant opening or whatever, and the menu wasn't as like Thai as someone wanted, because someone went to Thailand and they were like, oh, हमने तो ये खाया था, तो ये दे ही नहीं रहे हो, and all of that. I'm like,
it's me about the Turkish food basically. But I wasn't like, no, this is not the real Turkish food. Like I was just like, fuck it, I'm not gonna eat.
Yeah, I mean the chef was Turkish. Like we saw him and we were like, yeah, you are Turkish.
Yeah.
And sure, like this is the food that great, good for you. But like. Just like taking down everything in the restaurant and being like, this was bad, but I will eat all of it, and at the end of the meal I will tell you what was awful about it, is a problem. Like you don't structure it that way, right? And you don't structure it that way in an open space where you're just talking about it with every creator who's sitting there and then saying that like you deserve better. that's not how it works. Like, you've had a good night, you've had a good experience, you talk about those things, and then you bring in, okay, like, this was a little bit problematic, or this could be done better, or this is not part of my preference. Because at the end of the day, food is preferential. No one is an expert. You could go to Italy and have tiramisu and hate it. Me, I did that. I do not like tiramisu in Italy for some reason. And it doesn't mean that all of Italy is bad. It doesn't mean that all that chef knows is bad. And these were people who were professional chefs doing it, which was actually the problem.
Yeah, which was what was.
Because we've had their food and it was awful. We've gone to their events and it was awful.
Yeah.
So, and we still don't tell them that, because at the end of the day, it's your effort. We understand it's your, like, it's art, right? You know, like, it'll be good for some people, it'll be bad for some people. It's how you perceive it and how you enjoy your own preferences. So yeah, just be nicer to the world. It's better. I can't believe that this is how we're ending the message after 30 minutes of judgmental conversations.
Yeah.
But
I
again,
also, the other thing I feel really strongly about, and like, I am the complaint between the two of us. I am the complainer when, like, food is not good, drink is not good, blah blah blah, service is not good. I will complain, but I do really strongly believe that, like, when you're paying for it, it's fine that you're doing it, because, like, it's something that you are foregoing to then get something in exchange. But this is like free shit that you're going for. You're getting free drinks, you're getting a free meal, you're bringing friends along. Fucking, like, smile and just be nice about it. It's not that difficult.
And the long tail of all of this actually is that they're not calling you to actually tell them what's bad about your food.
Yeah.
They're calling you so that other people can come to your food. So your core idea is that if you are bringing in business for that restaurant or whatever, that brand, you are going to be more valuable to them. So it's also just like, think marketing wise, man. You're ruining your own reputation by doing it, because eventually in the future you will not convert more business for your own brand, as compared to being a nice gentle soul who will promote something while, if something is awful, that's a whole other
and
thing.
Like, they did ask us our honest opinions about the meal, and we did tell them exactly what we felt about it. So, like, sure, like, salt was less in this, or like something was this, and like maybe this would have been better served hot. We did that, but like, we did not rip the fucking menu apart in front of everybody and like cause embarrassment. And the cherry on top was that the chefs who prepared the meal came into this like space where we were all eating and like asked how everybody felt about it. And then the creators who had been bitching about it for the last like hour and a half said nothing.
Yeah, they were like, oh, now that we think about it, maybe it's
they were like, oh, we'll discuss it later. We'll talk to you guys separately. Bullshit. Fuck you. I was so pissed that night. They actually like ruined a perfectly good experience for us just because they were being like so negative about everything.
Yeah.
And be negative in private. Like, just don't try to bring the world down.
Yeah.
Just cause,
Yeah, at the end of the day, you're still at a 5-star restaurant eating a meal. Like, your life isn't as bad as that you can portray it to be. Yeah. Anyway, so that was our rant. We really don't enjoy events. Is what this comes out of it.
We do enjoy staycations as long as like we're not required to be in social situations which are uncomfortable for us.
Yeah.
And most often than not, all social situations are uncomfortable for us. That's an us problem.
Yeah. We're just introverted. Like, if you call us and be like, hey, just take nice pictures and enjoy the meal and tell us how you think, and we won't disturb you. That's what we want.
Yeah.
That's all we want.
Yeah.
We'll do whatever, that you require from us. If we believe in the deliverables and the product, then we will do that.
Yeah.
We're very ethical that way. Like recently we got a digital door lock from a company, and they have been the worst in terms of like coordinating. They took them 2 months to give it to us.
Longer.
And then we had to figure out installation and things like that. And even now, my first thing was that, hey, we shouldn't be making content for them. And Natasha was like, no, we promised them something, so let's shoot it. If they ask us for content, we can put it out, but we won't do it willingly.
Yeah.
And I think that's a fair way of navigating a situation like this. We're not trying to be assholes, but if we do not enjoy the way that we've been treated, then we may do things covertly that you may not even know about. But at the end of the day, we know we're responsible for some of the things if we've promised something, we will deliver it. Yeah. And that's just something that we work on.
And we will take ownership if we're saying something and it's offended you. Like, this podcast, for instance, I'm sure that like brands are not sitting and watching this, right? And like we're sitting here and bitching about things that we go through at these events and stuff. Tomorrow, if a brand comes and asks us like, "What's wrong? Why have you done this?" We'll probably tell them why.
Yeah.
And it's okay. Like we're righteous enough to be able to do that. But like, and yeah, but like I don't know. I lost my chain of thought.
I think you've covered it.
Never mind.
I think you've covered it. All right, Tashu. I think this is a good
It's
episode.
so hot. I'm fucking sweating.
It's a great
from every
episode.
angle.
Another 40 minutes down. We've done great work. Auntie's come with things. Sorry, there's a neighbor behind us, and
She did an outfit change and came.
oh, this is the same one.
Maybe not.
Oh, I thought it was different, but it's possible.
Anyway.
But yeah, oh my god, you know what? When we started our first episode recording, she had just put wet clothes out, and
No, that's
now
not
she's
true.
come back and she's taken her dry clothes in. We've spent so much time that her clothes have dried. Tashu, stop it. Too much noise comes on
I'm
this.
feeling really hot.
Alright, then we just end this episode and
Okay.
we'll see you next week, hopefully. Please beg to God and
Beg to God.
Beg to God, yeah. Beg
No more praying, just beg.
Beg to God, yes. And we'll see you soon.
Yeah, okay.
You can
bye.
follow Natasha Ratti at Natasha at the rate Natasha Ratti with 2 eyes, not 3 eyes, because we have a spammer. And you can follow me at the rate Archit Lost. The other thing that I did want to say, and I've completely forgot, is that we did get nominated for a podcast contest by Hubhopper. This episode actually airs too late to actually vote for it, but I hope that you did. And
But like,
got
we're glad
one
that you
vote.
guys are listening. Thank
Yeah.
you.
We really appreciate that.
Yeah.
We're nominated with Ankur Variku, so I doubt we'll win. but-
Anku Variku.
Ankur Variku. But if we do, that'd be great. So see you there. See you next week. Bye.
Bye.